Xania's boots echoed on the steel floors of her home planet, Zrathis, a cold, harsh world filled with towering factories and the constant hum of machinery. Her parents, powerful and unyielding, had controlled every aspect of her life. They demanded perfection, a perfect warrior, a perfect daughter, a perfect heir. But Xania had never felt like she belonged. She longed for freedom, for a place where she could breathe without the weight of their suffocating expectations. One night, under the cover of darkness, Xania slipped away. She stole a ship, sleek, fast, and humming with potential. She didn't care where it took her, she just needed to be far from Zrathis. The new planet she found was a vivid contrast to the industrial wasteland she had left behind. It was alive with colors she had never seen before. The rich golds of the sunsets, the deep greens of strange forests, aquamarine rivers that glittered under twin moons, and fields of purple flowers that seemed to pulse with life. There were no people here. The planet was wild and untouched, a paradise she never thought she could find. She called it Ilisar, but Xania was not truly alone. Her parents, ever watchful, had known she would run, and they had sent a warrior to retrieve her. The warrior was to bring her back, no matter the cost. Xania first encountered him in a dense, fog-covered valley. He was tall, strong, and his armor gleamed in the strange light of the planet's twin moons. His designation was Ilisar. At first glance, he seemed cold and mechanical, but there was something in his eyes, a flicker of something more. Hesitation, maybe, or doubt. It was hard to tell. At first, X5 didn't attack. Instead, he watched her cautiously from a distance, as if weighing his options. Xania, on edge but curious, approached him. "I'm not going back," she said firmly, her voice steady, though her heart raced in her chest. "I'm free now." X5 took a step toward her, his hand resting on the hilt of a blade strapped to his side. "Your parents sent me to bring you home," he replied, his voice low, almost mechanical. "You don't understand what you're running from. You're important to them, Xania." Her gaze hardened. "They never cared about what I wanted. I'm done with them." Before X5 could respond, something unexpected happened. A blast of energy from the wilds of Ilisar struck him, knocking him off his feet. Xania rushed to his side instinctively, her heart racing. She hadn't meant to get involved, but the sight of him hurt made her act before thinking. She knelt beside him, her hands trembling, as she tried to assess the damage to his armor. "Are you okay?" she asked, her voice urgent, though she knew she should be running, not helping him. X5 grimaced, his breath shallow as he tried to push himself up. "I'll survive. Help me up." Without thinking, Xania reached out to help him, her mind focused on getting him to safety. But as her hand brushed against the armor near his chest, she felt the cold metal shift. In that moment, X5's gloved hand pressed a hidden button on the side of his armor. Suddenly, a loud alarm blared through the air, echoing through the valley. The armor's red lights flashed ominously, signaling a distress call. Xania's heart sank as the realization hit her like a wave. He'd just sent out a signal, calling reinforcements. "They're coming for you," X5 rasped, his voice flat and detached. "Your parents never wanted to let you go, and neither will I." A wave of panic surged through Xania. She couldn't afford to stay and fight, not with reinforcements on the way. Her chance to escape was slipping away. Without a second thought, she turned on her heel and ran. The alarm rang in the background, growing louder as X5 called out to her. "You can't run forever. They'll come for you." But Xania didn't look back. She darted through the mist-covered landscape of Ilisar, her breath heavy, her heart pounding. She knew she had to move fast. There was no time to hesitate. She raced through fields of glowing purple strange flowers and beneath towering emerald trees, her mind focused only on the path ahead. The vibrant colors of the planet around her seemed to blur, but she could still feel the pulse of freedom in the air. This was her chance, and she would not let it slip away. Behind her, she could hear X5's footsteps, but he wasn't fast enough to catch her. His armor, though powerful, slowed him down. Xania pushed herself harder, leaping over strange objects and weaving through the thick native forest, her body growing more agile with each step. She finally reached the edge of a cliff, overlooking a river that flowed with thick yellow water. The sound of yellow liquid crashing against rocks below filled the air. She'd never seen this side of Ilisar before. Xania paused, catching her breath, her mind racing. She could hear the distant hum of ships approaching, but they were too far to reach her now. With one last glance toward the valley, she knew it was time to take a risk. She jumped, leaping into the river below. The cold, thick yellow water hit her like a shock, but she kicked hard, swimming toward the current, determined to break free. As she swam, Xania knew she had won her freedom. The warriors her parents had sent would not catch her, and even if they tried, she would never let herself be controlled again. Xania felt truly free, for now.